Here at First Methodist Church. We're glad to have you, guests and members and everyone. We are privileged this day to welcome Alan Mearns in concert, and we just look forward to this time together. We're really grateful for your presence and your gifts. Let's start with a word of prayer. Gracious God, thank you for the ways in which you bless us, for the opportunity to enjoy art and music and the things that really in many ways gives our life meaning. We just pray this day that you will be in our midst as we hear this music played and sung for us, and hope that you will move us to be more like you created us to be. Bless Alan as he plays. Give him the words he needs and the fingers to move, and we're grateful for his presence in his life. And we ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you very much. I totally appreciate you guys being here. I'm not originally from here, but I'm kind of like half from here. I come from Belfast, Northern Ireland, but Hickory, this area, Newton, it's kind of like my prosthetic home. Definitely at home here, but when I go home, it's like amazing when I go back to Belfast. So I'm just going to play some classical guitar here for you today. I'll tell you what pieces I'm playing, and we'll just kind of enjoy some nice music. So these first three, I'm going to start with three different sets of three preludes by two different composers, and I'll kind of mention each one before. It doesn't have to be like a classical concert, And so I'm going to play three preludes by one of my favorite composers, Frédéric Chopin. Obviously, I'm stealing them from the piano. And if there's any pianists in the audience, I totally apologize for stealing your lovely music. So I'll start with those. This first prelude is originally in B minor. They're actually my three favorite Chopin preludes. I can't play the hard ones, but these three beautiful ones somehow fit on the guitar, I think. Thank you. All right, this last Chopin piece is the famous Suffocation Prelude. Believe it or not, it's called. I actually changed the melody to kind of put it in the bass, kind of messed with it a bit, so just to make it more suffocating. Yeah, here goes. There's a wee joke where guitarists say they spend half their time tuning and the other half playing out of tune. Thank you. Does anybody play guitar here? Awesome. All right, these next three preludes are by Chopin's hero. Chopin had two heroes, J.S. Bach and Mozart, and he really didn't play any other music. He didn't. He thought it was kind of like beneath him, you know, like great composers like Robert Schumann would write works for him and send them to him, and he wouldn't even look at them. So Chopin like worshipped Bach, and he wrote 24 preludes. Those were three of those, and then Bach famously wrote these sets of preludes and fugues because he wasn't just a great composer, but he did all kinds of things. He mended organs, he designed organs and the prototypes of the piano, and he was always coming up with things. He taught Latin. He had 20 children. Just imagine having 20 children. It's like an orphanage or something. But so he wrote these 24 preludes and fugues, like one in every single major and minor key, to practice this new tuning method to make them all sound good in every key. So he wrote this book, The Well-Tempered Clavier, or The Well-Tuned Keyboard, essentially, right? So then he just had so much fun with it, he wrote another one, you know. So that's kind of one of the cornerstones of the piano repertoire, is the 48 preludes and fugues. So these are two famous preludes from the first book, and then I'm going to play a famous cello prelude. Thank you. Thank you. I can see all the people like, oh, this better be over before the Carolina game starts. Don't worry, I'm an enormous basketball fan. And definitely a Carolina. Hello? Okay, this next piece, it's got a Spanish title, Oración, which just means prayer. The reason why is I wrote it for a good friend of mine, this Cuban guitarist, Rene Izquierdo, who's just one of the best guitar players in the world. And it just means prayer, right? Oración. And so it's got two movements. The first one is cantos, and the second one is perpetuo, as in the perpetual prayers, you know. Obviously, these days we live in such desperate times, you know, going through all this pandemic stuff and then this Russian-Ukraine thing. It's just, it seems like every piece of music has kind of become a prayer, you know, so hopefully that's what this will be. Thanks. Cheers. Not sure if you're supposed to say cheers in a church. Probably, you know, if Jesus was here. Yeah. There's the old joke about the Irish priest who gets pulled over by the cops. You know, he's kind of swerving, and the cop looks at his, you know, inside his car and sees this container, you know, and it's obviously full of wine. He's been visiting his people, you know, and offering the Eucharist. And the policeman says, "What's going on there, Father O'Reilly? It looks like there's a little bit of an open container there going on." He's like, "Oh, it's only water. It's only water." And he's like, "You mind if I have a look at it?" You know, and he has a sniff, and you know, this not only smells like wine, it smells like port. You know, he's like, "Oh, he's gone and done it again." Okay, so this next piece is a big piece by J.S. Bach again. It's on my CD that I just kind of finished printing. And I'll tell you a wee bit about it. This will be the last piece I play, and then we'll go and watch the game. Yes. It's called a Chicone. And a Chicone, if you're not familiar with classical music, a Chicone's a bit like, you know, when like blues players jam, they have or just people play together in a band and they have a chord progression they agree on, you know, and the chords just keep cycling, and they take turns doing stuff. They play their own solo, and essentially this is what a Chicone is. It's basically a set of a 4-bar chord progression that Bach uses. Now, in Bach's life, this is a very big piece. He wrote 6 sets of pieces for solo violin, so just a violin by itself. Okay, the sonatas and partitas for violin, and then in the middle of this, at the end of the second partita, there's just this enormous Chicone. Partitas are just little like dance pieces, you know, usually very simple little pieces. But then there's this 15-minute long Chicone. And what we've kind of gathered historically is that right before he wrote this, he came back home and discovered his wife had died while he was on a journey. So his first wife of his, you know, first 6 children died unexpectedly. And so he was obviously absolutely destroyed by this, and he wrote this amazing piece, you know. And the title of my CD is called Sei Solo, which is what Bach wrote as the title for these solo violin works, which means, in Italian, it means 6 solo, or 6 unaccompanied. But there's also kind of a little bit of a pun, or not a pun, but like a word game that Bach would always be involved with. So in Italian, sei solo, S-E-I, solo, can also mean you are alone. You know, so that's the kind of the name of my record for Bach. So he obviously wrote this for his wife, and it's just warning you, it's a wee bit of a long piece. And about halfway through the piece, you might notice, is the part where I think Bach had actually finished the piece. It's actually this really awesome Chicone. It builds up, and it ends after 33 variations. Now, a lot of people speculate that Bach wrote these solo violin works as a kind of a picture of the life of Christ as well. So there's all these extractions from his various chorales and stuff that correspond with this. And the Chicone being kind of like the passion, or the suffering, the crucifixion moment. And so, and this kind of is something I kind of discovered myself, just playing this a lot. When it ends after this first half, this big minor section, it ends after 33 variations, okay, of that chord progression I talked about. And obviously that is like the life of Christ, right? 33. But it's also, his wife also died at 33 years old. But then with a lot of like Baroque music that has this kind of rhetorical nature, it's kind of like an argument going on. Usually it's like a very happy piece, and then there's kind of a moment of rhetorical doubt that comes in like a minor key or some kind of gesture like that. But with this piece, it starts off with kind of all of the dark emotions. But then after that 33rd variation, there's like this little spark, and the ending kind of becomes this new beginning that maybe represents like a hope in the afterlife for his wife and for all of us. And so then it kind of sparks into the parallel major key, and hopefully you'll sense that if you've done any music, and it kind of slowly rises and rises, and it kind of, he just pulls you through like the seven heavens, you know. It's like a moment of grace, and you can hear trumpets, hopefully, and cherubic choirs, you know, all these little things. Then after a certain moment, he's kind of thrown back down to earth. The clock strikes 12, so to speak, you know, and it goes back into the original minor key, where he's kind of left with his existential dilemma of being alone, you know, with his kids. And so this is the Bach Chicone. And a bit like the cello prelude, I've obviously added a few things to it, so don't be too disturbed if you're familiar with it. Musician breaks his wrist trying to